Mom update. Well, I just got off a video call with her and my sister. I try to call her when I'm not there in the morning. And she actually called me this afternoon. Um, uh, I was here with the kids. I was working, with the kids. And she told my sister, well, I reckon I better call Dreama. It was nice. That was nice. I talked to my mom. So I've talked to her, 3 times today, but tonight she was really out of it. They really put her through the ringer today. This was her first radiation treatment. Plus, they got her up, got her a shower, and got her hair washed, and she's all fresh and clean. But she's having to have a catheter now, and she's wearing the oxygen I think, all the time now. Um, It's my hope for her, my prayer for her, that the radiation, we're told, is supposed to work enough by Friday to shrink her, whatever that is, enough by Friday to let pressure off of her colon, and it should let pressure off of her bladder as well. I'm really praying that it does. But in the meantime, catheter. I've had many, many in my life, but none that had to stay in. I can't even imagine. So she's really out of it. I don't know how much she ate today. Probably not a lot. It's hard to eat. Can you imagine? It's got to be hard to eat when you're full up, literally, and you're uncomfortable. And I'm praying so hard that when some of that pressure is let up and she can relieve, get some stuff out of her, that she'll feel better and more like eating. It's just so hard. It's so hard to watch, to see. And I'd take her place in a second if I could. I really would. And I was thinking today, in addition to being there for my mom, there comes a point, I think, when it's about being there for each other. Maybe, because sadly, there's only so much we can do for my mom. And we're trying to make her as comfortable as possible. And one thing I have noticed is all of our emotions are very high. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much for someone to say, something, and then the other person takes it the wrong way, or, and to snap back at them. And I did that today. And my sister called me, and she wanted to talk about the memorial bench for my mom. I'm like, Mommy's still alive. I'm not trying to talk about what happens later, Not yet. I'm not trying to. Um and But I think, see, my way of coping with grief is a lot of times, see, what I want to do is shut down. I don't want to talk about it. I suffer in silence. I don't want to talk about it. Well, this is my therapy, and I think my sister's way. And somebody said it to me. I don't know. I think it might have been my best friend. My sister is a very controlling person, and she cannot control my mom's cancer. So I think her in the same way that I have to clean my house if my life is feeling like it's in disarray. I clean. I get everything cleaned, organized, all that stuff. Um, and I've been doing that a lot too since this started because that's something I can control. Um, and my sister, I think her way of having some control over the situation is to talk about the plans for mom. Maybe. Um, because none of us can control what's happening to her. We can pray. And I still believe that God is bigger than any cancer. And I still believe that if God chooses, he can touch my mom and say, "You're healed." I mean, the God that brought Lazarus back from the dead, the God that rose up 3 days after being hung on a cross, is the same God today. God doesn't change because the times change. We change, but God doesn't change. And I fully believe that God can touch my mother. God can just have a thought, breathe a breath, and my mother can be healed. I really believe that. She's got to have faith, you know, and she has to want it. But a lot of good has come of this. I've watched my family get put back together. And that is one really beautiful thing that is happening through all of this. And I have found a love from my mom that I didn't always have. And she finally got her flowers today that I sent. And she got some others from her friends from where she used to. Her room is full of flowers. My regret now is that I wasn't doing that thing. That's all that before. Well, I need to get in the bed. Thank you guys for following this journey. Continue to pray for my mom and for my family. And I don't think it's too much to continue to ask for healing. I don't think that's too much to ask of God. So I'm going to keep asking. God bless y'all.